Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, verse 11 and 12. Verses 11 and 12. Namadeyani kurvanti stanani cha narabhuvi durgiti bhadrakaliti vijaya vaishnavaiti cha kumuda chandika krishna madhavi kanaya kiti cha maya narayani sani saradheti ambiketi cha. Translation. Lord Krishna blessed Mayadevi by saying, in different places on the surface of the earth, people will give you different names, such as Durga, Bhadrakali, Vijaya, Vaishnavi, Kumuda, Chandika, Krishna, Madhavi, Kanyaka, Maya, Narayani, Ishani, Sarada, and Ambika. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Because Krishna and his energy appeared simultaneously, people have generally formed two groups, the Shaktas and the Vaishnavas, and sometimes there is rivalry between them. Essentially, those who are interested in material enjoyment are Shaktas, and those interested in spiritual salvation and attaining the spiritual kingdom are Vaishnavas. Because people are generally interested in material enjoyment, they are interested in worshipping Maya Devi, the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vaishnavas, however, are Shuddha Shaktas, or pure Bhaktas, because the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra indicates worship of the Supreme Lord's energy, Hara. A Vaishnava prays to the energy of the Lord for the opportunity to serve the Lord along with his spiritual energy. Thus, Vaishnavas all worship such deities as Radha Krishna, Sitaram, Lakshmi Narayan, and Rukmini Dvarakadish, whereas Durga Shaktas worship the material energy under different names. The names by which Maya Devi is known in different places have been listed by Vallabhacharya as follows. In Varanasi, she is known as Durga. In Avanti, she is known as Bhadrakali. In Orissa, she is known as Vijaya. And in Kulahapura, she is known as Vaishnavi or Mahalakshmi. The representatives of Mahalakshmi and Ambika are present in Bombay. In the country known as Kamarupa, she is known as Chandika. In northern India as Sarada, and in Cape Comorin as Kanyaka. Thus she is distributed according to various names in various places. Shiva Vijayadvaja Tirthapat in his Pada Ratnavali Tika has explained the meaning of the different representations. Maya is known as Durga because she is approached with great difficulty, as Bhadra because she is auspicious, as Kali because she is deep blue. Because she is the most powerful energy, she is known as Vijaya. Because she is one of the different energies of Vishnu, she is known as Vaishnavi. And because she enjoys in this material world and gives facilities for material enjoyment, she is known as Kumuda. Because she is very severe to her enemies, the Asuras, she is known as Chandika. And because she gives all sorts of material facilities, she is called Krishna. In this way, the material energy is differently named and situated in different places on the surface of the globe. Hare Krishna. So, we are discussing 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is known as a very special part of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's compared sometimes with the beautiful face of Krishna, sometimes with the smile of Krishna. And generally from Srila Prabhupada, we know that in order to properly understand and enter the subject of 10th canto, we have to gradually advance through the previous cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this way, our understanding, our philosophical understanding will be correct, will be proper. And here in the beginning of 10th canto, first, the description of the appearance of Krishna is provided. And we know from Bhagavad Gita that if someone understands properly the birth and the activities of Krishna, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, Evam Yo Veti Tatvataha, if we understand them in truth properly, then the result from this is that we won't appear anymore in this material world. Rather, we'll go back to the spiritual world. So the appearance of Krishna and activities of Krishna, they are not so easy to be understood. Like sometimes we just read some pastime of Krishna and we are saying, well, what's so difficult? I already wrote it, so I know it. Well, first, the acharyas are providing so many deep moments about these pastimes in order properly to understand them. And also, if we really understand them, the practical result from this will be that we will want to engage in practical service to Krishna. We will try somehow or other to express our love and our devotion practically to Krishna. So this is the real result from understanding the appearance of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna. And now we are in the part of appearance of Krishna where Lord Balaram appears in the womb of Devaki. And now Krishna is giving a special task to his internal energy. She has to transfer Lord Balaram, who is also known as Sankarshan, from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. So, because this is a difficult task, Krishna is giving a special order to Yogamaya, basically showing that she is qualified, she is as powerful as the Lord himself. That's why she can do this amazing service to bring Lord Balaram, who is the power of all strength, especially the spiritual strength, from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini Devi. In the previous verses, energy of Krishna was addressed as Yoga Maya. And we know that Yoga Maya, this is the spiritual energy of the Supreme Lord. However, now, in these verses, she is addressed as Maya Devi or Durga, Chandika, Kali. And we know generally these names are used for the external energy of Krishna. We know that Supreme Lord, he has mainly three energies: internal, external, and marginal energy. So why we have description of the same personality, but sometimes we are referring to her as the internal energy of the Lord and sometimes as the external? Well, the answer is very simple, because it's the same personality. Just according to how we deal with her, she is appearing in a different way, in a different form. And little later, there will be a proof for this. The moment when Yogamaya, or the spiritual energy of the Lord, will appear in the uh, in the jail together with Devaki and with Vasudeva, and when Kamsa comes to kill uh, the baby of Devaki, Kamsa did this many times. Every time when Devaki had a baby, Kamsa was coming and killing this baby. So he tried to do the same when Yogamaya appeared from the womb of Devaki. And the moment when he touched the baby, suddenly this baby, Yogamaya, starts flying in the air and appear as Durga Devi, with many hands and weapons in the different hands. And she said to Kamsa, "You fool, why do you think you can kill me? And why do you think you can kill the Supreme Lord? He already appeared. The instrument for your death already appeared." So this moment shows actually how, from the perspective of Krishna, his energy is one, Svarup Shakti, or Yogamaya, his spiritual potency. But when we touch our impure consciousness to this potency transforms and appears as a material energy. We know that spiritual energy is 100% meant for the pleasure of Krishna. Spiritual energy actually is the devotee. She is making all the arrangements for the satisfaction of the Lord. And when we try to use this same energy instead of for the pleasure of Krishna, for our own pleasure, then this energy transforms from spiritual to material and creates all kinds of obstacles in our life. That's why she is known as Durga. She's very difficult to approach, and she's also very difficult to satisfy. Why? Because she can be satisfied only when she sees that someone is trying to serve Krishna. Then she's becoming happy, satisfied. And also the same energy is known as Bhadra or Subhadra. This is the small sister of Krishna. This is the personality that is helping us in our devotional service. When we are sincere in our efforts to give pleasure to Krishna, this is the personality that gives us everything that we need in order to serve Krishna. All kinds of facilities, even the so-called material facilities, like money and properties and so on and so on. Of course, they are not material, but they are meant to be used for the pleasure of Krishna. So she is providing all this for a devotee who wants to serve sincerely Krishna. Internal energy of Krishna is that's why we, the devotees, we are known as also Shakti worshippers. Like generally, if one goes in India, he'll hear that we are known as the Vaishnavas, but there are also persons who are known as the Shaktas. Why Shaktas? Because they are worshipping the external energy, Maya Devi, and they are trying to get all kinds of material facilities from her. But as Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the Purport, we are also known as Shakti worshippers, but we are known as Shuddha Shaktas. In other words, we are trying to approach the energies of Krishna just so that they can help us to render service to the Supreme Lord. Subhadra Devi, or Yoga Maya, the spiritual energy of Krishna, the internal energy of Krishna, we know very little about her life and her appearance, but apparently it looks like that she is, we can say, she's a daughter at the same time to Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, also to Ruhini, and to Devaki and Vasudeva. And this little bit mysterious, but how is that and why is that? Well, she's a daughter of Yashoda because we know that actually when Yashoda gave birth, she gave birth to a twins, a boy and a girl. Of course, the boy was Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, and the girl was Yogamaya. That's why we can say that the mother of Subhadra Devi is Yashoda. But then later, when Vasudeva brought Krishna to Vrindavan, he left Krishna there and he took the girl with him and brought it back to the jail to present it as the child of Devaki. So from this perspective, we can say that she is a kid of Devaki and Vasudeva. And later, when Kamsa came and touched her body, she considered herself contaminated, impure. That's why after speaking with Kamsa, she left this place and she went to one mountain. If I remember correctly, the name was Vindhya Mountain, and she performed austerities there for a very, very long time. And then she appeared again as the small daughter of Krishna and Balaram, Subhadra Devi. And she's also known as daughter of Ruhini because in order to attract Lord Balaram in the womb of Ruhini, she had to enter the womb of Ruhini. At that time, Ruhini was pregnant, and actually Yogamaya was present in her womb. And then Yogamaya attracted Lord Balaram to appear there. So from this perspective, it's not wrong to say that she is a daughter of Yashoda, she is a daughter of Devaki, and at the same time, she is a daughter of Ruhini. It's not wrong. So now I wanted to speak a little bit about Madhavendra Puri, because today is his disappearance day. And we know Madhavendra Puri is one of the greatest Vaishnavas in our Sampradaya. Madhavendra Puri ki jai. He is considered our connection with the Madhva Sampradaya. We know that we are part from Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And actually it is said that our connection with the Madhva Sampradaya is Madhavendra Puri. We are connected, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are connected with Madhva Sampradaya through Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was very special personality, very unique in his devotion. It is said that he was showing such intense symptoms of bhakti, of ecstatic love for Krishna that no one else showed before him and after him, with the exception of Lord Chaitanya, of course. That's why sometimes some devotees are saying that he is an expansion of Lord Chaitanya. He is just not an ordinary personality. Nityananda Prabhu, when he was traveling throughout Bharatavarsha, throughout India, he was trying to find a real sadhus, genuine sadhus. And he was looking everywhere to see personalities who are really completely immersed in their love of Krishna. But it was very, very difficult for him to find such personalities. But when he met Madhavendra Puri and he saw his science of ecstatic love for Krishna, he understood this is a genuine sadhu. This is real devotee, real Vaishnava. Then they spent long time together. We know few important pastimes with Madhavendra Puri. Actually, yesterday, Chandrasekhar Maharaj, he was mentioning these pastimes in his Sunday class here. So basically, one important pastime with Madhavendra Puri is when he went in Vrindavan. He stayed for quite some time in Vrindavan. And it is said that at that time he was so much immersed in love of Krishna and thinking about Krishna that he was not making any kind of arrangements for his physical maintenance. He was not interested of what he is going to eat, when he is going to eat. He was not going to beg even for his food. Rather, he was completely dependent on Krishna for his maintenance. So it is said that one day in his dream, Krishna appeared and revealed that he is present as a murti form, as a deity, which is hidden in one of the bushes in Vrindavan, and he's staying there for a very long time. This happened when the Muslims are attacking these areas of India, and the pujaris, they were hiding many different deities in different places. So apparently this deity was staying there in this bush for a very long time. So the deity, Gopal, he revealed exactly the place where he is situated. And next day, Madhavendra Puri, with the help of some of the local villagers, he went into this area and they started looking for the deities. And sure enough, they found the deities of Gopal. So Madhavendra Puri immediately arranged for a big festival, and he installed this deity on the top of Govardhan Hill. And there was a big celebration. Suddenly, all kinds of personalities from all the local villages, they started bringing so much boga, so many foodstuffs in order to offer them to the deity for this installation festival. So suddenly many Brahmins appeared and they started cooking a big feast for the pleasure of Gopal, and there was lots of kirtan, big festivity. Madhavendra Puri, he was extremely happy seeing that the Lord is worshipped in this amazing way, and so many things were offered to him. And then it is said that later he asked two Brahmins to become the priests or the pujaris of the deity. And of course, Madhavendra Puri, he was spending lots of time there. He was trying to serve the deity also in a different manners, until one day the deity revealed again in his dream that he wants Madhavendra Puri to go all the way to Jagannath Puri and bring for his pleasure a sandal from there and make a sandal pope and put it on the deity. So basically the deity Gopal said, I'm feeling very hot here. It's too hot for me. So I need a way to get refreshed. So bring all this sandal from Jagannath Puri and make all these arrangements so that I feel better. And then Madhavendra Puri, trying to fulfill the desire of his worshipable Lord, left for Puri, for Orissa. He went there, he spent some time. Of course, the king of Orissa was extremely happy to learn that he can do some service for the deity of such a great Vaishnava, and he provided everything needed. Many kilos of sandal. So it was needed a special strong person to carry all this sandal back to Vrindavan. So on the way back, Madhavendra Puri stopped in this famous temple in Remuna, where a special deity of Gopinath is worshipped. It's a very beautiful deity. It's not far from Jagannath Puri. Devotees, when they are going to Jagannath Puri, they can make, if they like, this special endeavor to go to this place and get the darshan of this deity. And in the evening, they can see how the pujaris are offering this special, very tasty rice, sweet rice to the deity. And then pujaris, they are very happy to give all the devotees who are there for the darshan, to give them to try for this special, from this special rice. So Madhavendra Puri, he also witnessed the Arati ceremony there, and he saw how the pujaris are offering this special rice. And he understood this rice is very, very special. So in his mind, he desired that, it will be so nice if I can taste this rice and learn how to make the same for my Gopal. But suddenly, the next moment when he told this, he considered himself an offender. Why I am asking to try the boga, the things which are meant for the pleasure of Gopinath? So feeling himself in this way, of course, he was not offender at all, but this is the greatness of the this level of pure devotees. They are so pure that apparently even the smallest tinge of impurity, they consider it's a huge impurity. There was not at all impurity from the side of Madhavendra Puri, but he was considering himself in this way. Exactly as the famous story with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. We know that one time he ate mango, and apparently this mango was not offered to the deities. So his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, chastised him a little bit. How it is that you are eating the things that are meant for the pleasure of the deity? This is not proper. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur considered himself such an offender that we know after that, till the end of his life, he never took mango again. And always when some people were coming and offering him mango, he was saying, I am a great offender. I don't deserve to eat mangoes. So in the same way, Madhavendra Puri, he felt that actually he acted improperly towards the deity, and he immediately left the place without saying anything to anyone. So during the night, Gopinath appeared in the dream of his pujari and said, there was this great devotee that came and took darshan of me in the previous night. And because he is a very great devotee of me, I make a special arrangement for him. I hide one of the pots with the sweet rice. Go in the altar and you'll see it behind the curtains there. So Pujari woke up immediately, took shower and entered the Pujari, the altar. And yes, he saw behind the curtain, there was a pot of sweet rice. So he took this pot of sweet rice and started running throughout the city looking for Madhavendra Puri. Actually, the deity, he mentioned to him, go to the marketplace, you'll find him. He's staying there, this great Vaishnava. Madhavendra Puri is his name. So he started running throughout the city and calling, if there is a person with the name Madhavendra, come here immediately. Gopinath is sending special present for you, sweet rice for you. So when Madhavendra Puri heard this, immediately he went there and he received his present from the deity. And of course, immediately he ate the sweet rice, and he was feeling such a ecstatic emotions, happiness, not just from the point that he ate Mahaprasadam from the deity, but rather the point that the Lord, he makes such a special arrangement for him. Seeing his desire, the Lord made such a special arrangement for him. So not only he ate the sweet rice, but he crushed the clay pot in which the sweet rice was in, and he kept it in a bag. And every day he was taking a little bit from this clay, he was eating it, just to remember this pastime of the Lord, just to experience again the same ecstasy, the same bhava. And of course, he left the place immediately because he was afraid that when the people learn about this story, they will immediately want to worship him, and he wanted to escape before that. A little after that, Gopal appeared again in the dream of Madhavendra Puri and told him, actually, what you are carrying is a very precious load. So most probably you have problems on some of the borders with so much sandal. They may confiscate it, or they may want to steal it from you. So that's why better go back to Gopinath, Kshira Chora Gopinath, and give all this sandal to the pujari and ask the pujari to put it every day on the deity. And because I'm not different from Gopinath, that's why it is just I accepted all this offering and now feel cooling experience immediately. So this is a story that we know about Madhavendra Puri. These are extremely elevated Vaishnavas, and to listen about their life is very, very purifying for us. Also, this helps us to develop little bit desire also to try to serve Krishna in the same pure way, with the same pure motivation. Of course, sometimes we see what is the perspective that these great Vaishnavas are giving us, and we look back in our own life as a devotees, and we are seeing, well, the difference is too big. We almost become disappointed from our level of devotion. But no need to disappoint or to depress. Rather, we should try to work gradually to improve, to purify our intention, our motivation, how we are serving Krishna, why we are serving Krishna. And if we work gradually, we will be successful at the end. We may still have some material desires. This is not a problem. In the Nectar of Devotion, in one of the first chapters, Srila Prabhupada is explaining this. Is it a problem if someone has a material desires? Is this disqualify him to render devotional service to Krishna? And the answer is no. Even if we have material desires, still we can render devotional service to Krishna, and even pure devotional service. But what we have to do? Well, it's very simple. We have to give prominent place in our life first to Krishna. The Krishna and service of Krishna should be the first thing in our life, and then everything else should come after that, should become secondary. So even if we have some material desires, even if we have some material things that we want to achieve, no problem. Let's achieve them, but let's first give prominent place in the service of Krishna in our life. Every day when we get up, let's start our day with spiritual activities like now, listening Krishna Katha, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, taking auspicious darshan of the deities. Let's start our day in this way. Let's always give prominence to Krishna in our life. And then gradually, some of our material desires, they will disappear. We will understand, oh, this is not so important. Why do I need this? Let me just forget about this. Some of them we will see, okay, they are very important. They are like major things in our life. They are needs in our life. Okay, then definitely Krishna will help us to address them in a proper way, in a Krishna conscious way, and to connect them with Krishna. And then they will spiritualize, and gradually our attachment to these things will disappear, and only one thing will stay. Only Krishna will stay in our life, nothing else, just like in the life of Madhavendra Puri. And also, if we gradually connect everything in our life with Krishna, then the so-called material energy of Krishna, the external energy, Durga, will transform, and she will become for us his spiritual internal energy, Subhadra Devi. And she will facilitate us. She will help us in our arrangements of service to Krishna. So, thank you very much, dear devotees, for your kind attention. Maybe now we can ask for some reflections or questions, or if someone wants to add something.
Thank you very much, Tulsidas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, my question was, how do we draw the line from this very elevated pastimes down to where we are? And you've already addressed that perfectly. By putting Krishna first, by taking our time, by doing something, by engaging in devotional service steadily every day with a proper mood, serving the devotees, opening the Bhagavatam. So you already answered my question. Thank you very much, Tulsidas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Maybe I can add something in this regard.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, of course. So also, we know that Krishna, he appears in this world just to show extremely sweet pastimes. Like we have many avatars of Krishna, and all of them, they perform pastimes. But rather, in many of the avatars, the main feature is the greatness of the Lord. Like Lord appears and he performs some great things, very opulent things. But Krishna, the predominant thing in his pastimes is the sweetness. Everything is extremely sweet in his pastimes. So when we are listening about this sweet pastimes, it's very easy to be spontaneously attracted. You don't have to force your intelligence. Okay, let me think about this thing. Like, for example, the creation of the Lord. This is one of the pastimes of the Lord. And we can intellectually try to go deep into it. But with the pastimes of Krishna, it's not like that. With the pastimes of Krishna, everything is very, very sweet. And if we regularly listen this, that's why we know Srila Prabhupada, he wanted devotees to read Krishna book every night. Every night. If we regularly listen, this will be spontaneously attracted. And Bhagavatam is saying that if we regularly listen Krishna Katha, Shrimvata Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridi Antasto Hiabhadrani Vidunoti Sukhiritam. Then actually gradually Krishna, he will appear in our heart and all the contaminations there will be purified. So this is maybe additional feature of listening the pastimes of Krishna. Practically for us, our heart will be purified.
Yeah. Beautiful point. Thank you, Prabhu. Would anyone else like to say Adi Purusha Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful class. Very, very beautiful. In the context of Srila Prabhupada coming from India, where many people are aware of the process of deity worship, that there are temples, that there is what appears to be a statue of Krishna, and that the deity is bathed, the deity is dressed, the cooking is cooked and offered to the Lord with love, and we sing for Krishna, we pray to Krishna, we bow down before the deity. So in a culture where everyone is familiar with that, there's no need for elaborate presentation. You can tell a story of Madhavendra Puri, and they did this and they did the sweet rice. But when we're speaking to Western culture, people who have never, even today, there's somebody who's only been in a temple twice before, never heard of Krishna before, then it helps. It helps them to understand. If we say that the Prabhupada in the Samsara prayers, we say that he's worshiping the deity. So he's introducing that to people who've never heard of such a thing. And that the idea that Krishna, that the Supreme Lord is so wonderful that he can appear like this in what appears to be marble or wood or brass, and it's not an idol. That the Lord is capable of manifesting in a form for the sake of our eyes, for the sake of our mind, for the sake of our being able to focus on a vision, something we can see with our ordinary eyes. And then explaining to people who've never heard before how there are devotees like this wonderful, wonderful Madhavendra Puri, who was spoken to by the Lord and then found the deity that was hidden, the deity of Krishna, and gathered together a festival so everyone from miles around could come and worship the Lord in that form. And then how he was asked by the Lord, that the Lord, even in the form of a deity, can speak to us and say, would you do this for me? Would you come and remove me from these bushes? Would you go to Jagannath Puri and go get sandalwood, which is a very fragrant, special form of a tree that is used in the worship of the Lord, and grind up the wood into a pulp, a mixture, a liquidy mixture of ground up like sawdust and water, and then they put this fragrant sandalwood pulp on the forehead of the Lord as a gesture of love. And that he has to devotee. So sometimes we have to fill in the dots a little bit. If you're speaking just to devotees who have already been in the movement for 20 years or 10 years or 5 years, and they know what a deity is, and they understand that the deity reciprocates with the devotee. If we treat him like he's a person, if we speak to him, we were watching here in the Bhakti Center. Two men came in, and they were looking at the wall and trying to examine what is made. When they saw the floor, hardwood, and then the deity curtain opened, and they said, "Oh, marble." They were looking at the deity, and they were thinking that it was stone. And then they left, and this lady came in, an Indian lady, and she came and she bowed down before the deity, and she was offering prayers and speaking to the Lord, and she was seeing Krishna. They were seeing marble. So, for somebody who doesn't understand what a deity is, sometimes when we give class and we speak about such an intimate and sweet pastime, we have to give a little background.
Right.
No worries to Prabhupada. I don't know if I helped or not by that long contribution to the class. You can respond?
No, I think you are correct, Prabhu. Definitely, when we have to take in consideration the people who are listening, and if needed, to give them a little bit backstory, what it's all about, so that they can properly understand. I agree totally. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hello, Prabhu. Thank you so much for class. I just wanted to, as Adi was saying something, it really, the word idol really just stuck in my head, and what Adi's saying in this little discussion here, people see idol also in English is like idle, like not doing anything. and Radha Mulidhar and Gaurachandra are certainly not doing anything in this pastime. They are certainly not doing anything. They're actually reciprocating. And so for us, it's not just, oh, idle, just sit around there. It is like my Guru Dev always says, bhakti is about reciprocation, it's about responsive. So it just really struck me that this was a story about how they aren't idle, just sitting around doing nothing. They actually are reciprocating and in relationship with us, which is what we're all about. So when Adi was saying that in your discussion, just really spurred that. Is like, oh, there's an idol and there's idol. They sound exactly the same, but they're not idols in either sense of the word. So just want to contribute. Thank you so much for class.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Tulsi Prabhu, since you're new to our audience, can you tell us how you joined the movement? Maybe a deity talked to you or something. What was the reciprocation that Krishna manifested in your life that made you join the movement? Can you tell us?
How do you know that a deity talked to me?
You're so tell us.
Well, yes, the deity talked to me, but this deity actually was a book of Srila Prabhupada. We know that the books of Srila Prabhupada, they are deities because Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is showing to ourselves through these books. When I was very small, I was like 17, and I started getting interested from like more healthy lifestyle, and I was trying to eat healthy and so on and so on. So one day when I was walking in the center of Sofia, I'm from Sofia, from Bulgaria, and a lady came up to me and said, well, we are showing to the people these books. Maybe I can show to you fast. And at that time I was eating my healthy sandwich on the street. And I said, yeah, sure enough, no problem. I have time until I finish with my eating, so you can show me. And she showed me the books. I asked her. So I was always very interested to know, what is this yoga all about? Like, I'm hearing so many times, yoga. What is this?
She was showing you the book and you were eating?
I was eating, yes.
Okay.
That's why I said, I have time, no problem. You can speak to me. And she said, oh, you are interested to know what is yoga. Now I will read you a few verses and you understand what is yoga. And then I remember she opened a big red book. And actually that was later I realized that was the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And she started reading these verses that Shukadeva Goswami is explaining to Parikshit Maharaj, that what is the use to build a house if you can live in the cave? What is the use to use a pillow if you can use your hands? Or why do you need a plate if you can use the palms of your hands and eat from them? This way, basically, Shukadeva Goswami is speaking in this part of Bhagavatam that what Srila Prabhupada was saying, simple living and higher thinking. We have to simplify our life and try to use our time, our energy to serve with love and devotion to the Lord. So somehow this impressed me. What she read impressed me. And then after 5 minutes of conversation, she said, so you want to give some money and I'll give you a book? And I said, sure, I want to give money, but I don't have. I have like only 30 cents in me, but whatever I have, it's yours. So I gave her 30 cents. But she said, I see you are qualified, so I'll give you a book. And she gave me this small book of Srila Prabhupada, The Perfection of Yoga. And I went home and I started immediately reading the book. Actually, she gave me also the address of their place, their center, the Sofia Bhakti Center. And I read the book maybe for a week. And it was amazing because first I felt that this person, the author of the book, he's speaking very strongly, too strongly, like strongly he's speaking to me, strongly he's speaking about the Mayavadis, about these other spiritualists. So I was wondering why he's speaking so strongly. What's wrong? But at the same time, I was feeling everything that he's saying is very logical, common sense, and it's true. What he was saying is true. So I said, okay, let me go and check out the place. And I went there, and it was everything was very strange, but very attractive at the same time. Why strange? Because as Adi Purusha Prabhu was saying, when we try to present the bhakti philosophy and especially bhakti culture for new people, we have to be sensitive because especially the Westerners, all these things are new for them. So I felt exactly like that when I went there. Like I entered this big room and I was waiting, there was nobody, and then it was time the program to start. So these three people came with the strange clothes, saffron robes. That was already, wow, interesting. Like in New York, I see no matter what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of color is your hair, nobody cares. Like people there, so they saw it all. Nobody cares. But like in South Europe, East Europe, it's not like that, especially 20 years ago. So I was like, wow, okay. And then they had some special strange paint on their forehead, and all of them, like if it was only one, I would say, okay, there was some incident there. But all three of them, they had the same. And then they pick up these strange instruments. I never saw such kind of instruments, like this drum, mridanga, and these metal cymbals. And then the next interesting thing was they went to this cupboard and they opened it, and then there was, as Adi Purusha was mentioning, three doors. When we don't know that actually this a real authoritative presentation of the Supreme Lord, we just accept that the Lord, he's just a statue or a dough. So these three small doughs, can you guess which one three doughs were there?
Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra.
Correct. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. Very small deities, maybe like, I don't know, 20 centimeters. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And I was watching these those and these guys with these clothes and these instruments, and suddenly they started singing, and they were singing to unknown for me language until then. I never heard this kind of language. Of course, we know Sanskrit, but who knows Sanskrit? And yeah, it was everything was very strange, but at the same time, very interesting and very attractive also. So then they spoke. Then when they spoke, it starts making more and more sense. And then the time for prasadam came, and this devotee came to me, and he gave me a huge plate with prasadam. On this plate, there was prasadam that I would eat maybe 3 days, 3 times a day, that much prasadam, a lot of prasadam. And I said, I cannot it's impossible to eat this. He said, don't worry, you just pick and you eat, and you'll see gradually it will come out. And it's true, it happened like that. After 1 hour, the plate was empty. And the most interesting thing was that after finishing the prasadam, after I left the temple, I was not feeling heavy at all. Actually, I had the feeling that I would start flying. I was feeling so much euphoria and joy and happiness. I was thinking, why, that's amazing. And then I said to myself, definitely I have to come back again, but I shouldn't come too often because I feel I'll get attached very fast. So I purposefully make a plan that I won't come more often than 2 weeks, like maximum 1 time every 2 weeks. So in this way, gradually I started getting more and more interested. And so on and so on. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Tulsi Prabhu, beautiful story. When I was first coming to the temple, I saw brahmacharis, orange robes. I wasn't impressed by the robes, But what I was impressed by was the socks, the orange socks. I was like, what is this? Orange socks? Who does that?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, devotees are very impressive. Okay, do we have any comments, questions, reflections? Bhima Prabhu is here. Bhima Prabhu. Where have you been? Did you change the time? Did you change the clock? You're muted, Bhima Prabhu. Unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a 2,000-pound. I gotta have to listen to this class again because I was out of reach of Wi-Fi, so I missed the whole thing. I'm horrified. But I can't. I don't have anything to say yet until I see the class. It's nice to hear. Where is the Prabhu? Where is Prabhu giving class from? Hello, where is he
Tulsi
giving
Prabhu.
class from?
Tell him.
I'm giving the class from the Brooklyn Temple.
Okay. And where are you from, Prabhu?
I'm from Europe, Bulgaria, Sofia.
Okay. Well, I make a solemn promise that I have an hour off right now. I got to go do some fencing. And I will listen to your class again, Prabhu. And I can't wait to hear from you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Gopal Champu Prabhu, do you have anything to say? I want to glorify Krishna, Gopal.
Well, I did want to say that there was a comment by Andrea, and I didn't want it to go unanswered, so I wanted to bring it up.
Andrea,
she had a question, and it says, let's see, she said that, what is the difference in the name of Gopal and Gopinath?
Gopinath means Krishna, who is the master of the gopis. He is the lord of the gopis. Gopinath. Nath means master or lord. Gopal, this is a name of Krishna which refers that he is a small boy and he is a cowherd boy. His duty is every day to take out the cows and bring them to the forest and give them nice food and nice water from the Yamuna River. So generally, these are the meanings of these two names, Gopinath and Gopal.
Andrea is satisfied with the answer. She's given us a heart. Vrajvihari Prabhu says that many are convinced by prasadam. That's my story too. That's how I joined. I was taking prasadam like anything. It was so good. It's still my favorite service, honoring prasadam.
That was how I came 30 years ago. Wednesday feasts and Sunday feasts. It was all about the prasadam, cooked by Radhanath Maharaj, served by Radhanath Maharaj, and because we were not living at the temple but just visiting, he would clean it up all by himself, cooked, served, and cleaned up by Radhanath Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Radhanath Maharaj ki jai.
Yeah. Many devotees say that Tulsi Das resembles Radhanath Maharaj, even by his appearance. Right, Tulsi Prabhu? We feel you have a special connection to Maharaj?
I feel that Maharaj is already in the spiritual world and I am totally engrossed in material ignorance.
Are you a Shakta?
I am a Shakta, but I am still not a Shuddha Shakta. But if we are listening his lectures and getting enthusiasm from him, definitely we'll improve. We'll get closer to him one day.
Yeah. Okay, it's 8:03. Any final comments, appreciations for Tulsi Das Prabhu? Okay. All right. Tulsi Das Prabhu ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much to Tulsidas, for your presentation, for your big smile. Thanks everyone for your comments and participation in class. This is the real Srimad Bhagavatam. Questions and answers. Cameras on. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. See you again tomorrow. Haribol.
Thank you so much.